The QuoteWerks integration with Google Contacts leverages the contact information you already manage with Google. This enables you to quickly create a quote for a customer by retrieving real-time contact information, eliminating typing errors, and the need to maintain separate contact databases. In this video, I will show you how to create a quote with contacts retrieved from Google and also review how to leverage notes and contact labels in Google Contacts with QuoteWerks. So let's create our quote. To do that, what we'll do is start from a template, and I'll go to File, New, select my template. And templates are a great way to save time in your quoting process if you regularly quote similar items. So as you can see, I now have all my line items on my quote. And to retrieve a contact, what I'm going to do is go to the Sold To, Shipped To tab. And then I'm going to click on the magnifying glass. And I'm going to look up my contact by either the company, contact name, last name, phone number, or email. And I'm going to do a very simple search here. And we'll look for all companies that start with the letter T. And we'll create our quote for Thor. And you'll notice that I currently have an outstanding quote for Thor. So if this was a similar quote, I would see that right here. So that way I wouldn't quote the same item for multiple times for the same contact. So now I'm going to go ahead and save my quote here and then deliver the quote. Let's go ahead and select our template. If we wanted to, we could include a cover page, literature, spec sheets, or additional documents that helped us create this quote. So I'm going to go ahead and preview the document to see what it's going to look like. And there we go. It's ready to go. From here, I can either email the PDF to the contact or upload it to QuoteValet. And a great thing about QuoteValet is when you send the quote to the customer, you're notified the first time they look at the quote, each additional time they look at the quote. If you give them options, you can see every time that they're selecting and deselecting those options, and they can even electronically sign, accept, and provide payment through QuoteValet as well. The setup for Google Contacts is as simple as going to the Contacts menu, Set up Contact Manager, and selecting Google Contacts. From here, each user will need to go to their Tools, My Preferences menu, and Contact Manager and enter in their Google Contacts login credentials. The QuoteWerks integration with Google Contacts takes advantage of contact labels and contact notes in Google. If Thor has a different billing address, we can create a label that designates this. So in this case, if we were to do a search for Thor, you'll notice that we just have a work address here under Type. But if we go over to Google, edit Thor here, and what we can do is create a new address, and we'll call this billing. And we could do his address here of 867 Asgard Lane, and Asgard, Florida 32827, and add that. So now we've got our address. So now when we go back over to QuoteWerks, do a search for Thor, you'll notice that we now have our billing address. Also, if we go over back to Google, actually before we do that, take a look at the notes field here. If we go back over to Google, if we were to add a note, we could say something like Thor prefers HP Inc. Now if we go back over, do a search again, you'll notice that our notes are filled out. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you have questions about integrating with Google Contacts or any other questions about QuoteWerks, please feel free to give us a call at 407-248-1481.